Hey guys, Anthony here with ARE Drywall here in North Texas, continuing on with our drywall finishing series or Drywall Finishers University. Today we're going to get into sanding, but before we get into the sanding, I just want to show you a couple of items that we use or that I use when we're doing the sanding. So for most of you guys, if you're doing DIY or home repairs and you're just doing small patches, maybe a smaller, just a smaller project, all you're gonna need are some sanding sponges, okay? You can get these in single packs. Some of them have where they have an angle on it, so it helps you to get into the corners better, to sand the corners. For the most part, if you guys are just doing patches and repairs and little home renovations, this is gonna be all you're gonna need is a little sanding sponge. If you bought the kit from Walmart that I was talking about in a different video, where you get a pan, you get a 10-inch knife, you get a 6-inch knife, you get a roll of mesh tape. He also comes with one of these sanding blocks, okay? Color, it doesn't matter. What does matter is the grid. So you have grids from like 60, 80, 100, 120, 150, 210, 220, 230, something like that. On these, you're gonna see like medium, fine. If you can find one that has a medium and a fine side, medium you'll be okay. Medium is usually good for when you're sanding patches. And I'll show you a trick later with these sponges to keep the dust down. Now, when you're gonna get into something bigger, remember your PB&J, your project, your budget, and your job size. So maybe there is something a little bit more like you're gonna have a whole room that you need to do, and this is gonna be way too much time to do something like even like this big, the module. So you're gonna wanna go into a pole. So here I have 3 different poles, okay? So this is the first pole. It has an end that you screw the head into. So here's the head, and here's the sanding pad, and all you do is you just screw this in there. And you can buy these, I believe, separately or together. I think together, the sanding pole, sanding stick, the stupid stick, whatever people want to call it. You can get these probably for like 20 bucks, I would think. It's been a while, I've had this one for a while. But this is it, it's real lightweight. It's really lightweight, it's really simple, really easy. Like I said, it's just 2 pieces, and it's simple. Once you know how to use it, it's really lightweight. Now, when you need something that's a little heavier duty, you can move up to, this one is another variation. This is actually a paint roller. This is for if you're gonna paint. This is a paint roller stick. I'm not sure what you call it, paint roller. And this is a different head because this head has a female end on it. So this one is different than this one because this one has a male end adapter. This one has a female adapter on it. So this one you screw in to the male end, and it's the same deal, okay? Except this whole thing is plastic. This is really lightweight. This is metal, so it gives you a little bit more weight, but the wooden handle, both of these are really light. So what I was gonna say is when you need something a little bit heavier, because the more that you push, and I'm gonna show this in the video next, but the more that you push, it helps you to sand easier. So if you have something that's too lightweight, you're gonna be pushing a lot. If you have something that can help you out with that weight distribution, that's gonna go a little bit longer. So what I like to do, my preferred method is I use a metal head. I have this adapter right here. If I can find it, I'll put a link in the description. You just attach the adapter. Now, I have 2 different poles, but they're the same pole, just different sizes. So these are adjustable paint poles, okay? And the reason I have 2 is depending on the job size. So I have this one, and this is about 3 feet, maybe 4 feet or something. It's 2 to 4 foot. So it's 2 foot at this size, it's 4 foot at this size. And this is good for when I have smaller walls like in here, okay? Like if I have short ceilings or I'm in a tight area, maybe a hallway or a closet, these are good for that. Now if I'm on a bigger job that have higher ceilings or bigger you know, bigger walls or whatever, then this one, I don't even know if I can get it in the whole frame, but this one extends a lot further. I don't even know what it is. It's ripped off, but my ceiling here is 7 feet. So I don't know, maybe 7.5, maybe it extends all the way to 7.5 foot. But how I use this in conjunction with the adapter that I have is you just screw it in like you do that other plastic one. But you need the adapter for this one. You need the adapter for this one. Actually, or you can use the plastic one as long as it has that adapter already on it. The only problem is it's very lightweight and it's not going to give you that weight distribution that I'm talking about that I like. Okay? So those are your first two types of poles. Now, the disadvantage with these is that they're really, they're going to leave dust. And depending on your PB&J project budget and job size, you may or may not have the ability to just freely sand, or you're going to have a lot of dust in the air. So the next option is this pole right here. Okay? This is a vacuum sander. So at this end of it, you attach this hose. So you attach this end into here, okay? And then this end is what hooks up to your shop vac. So I have a Craftsman, maybe I think it's like a 16-gallon. I have a HEPA filter in I bought an extra filter, not the one that came with it, but a HEPA filter to put inside of the vacuum cleaner. This goes into the port. And then when I'm sanding, that's how I use that to keep the dust down. There is still dust, but it's minimized. So what's cool about this is you can adjust it here, and then you can adjust it here. So I don't know, maybe 4 foot. It's a decent size. And then here you have an airflow that will either keep you, I know it's gonna be hard to see, but it's an airflow adjuster that will keep you either tighter, suction to the wall, or let you loosen it up. I like a medium one. It keeps me on the wall, so I'm not having to push so hard, but at the same time not so hard where I'm struggling with it. So this is a good one. There's another type of vacuum sander that is called an orbit sander, I believe, and those are the ones with the circle heads. You may or may not see them. I don't know. The last time I used one was on a job in California. They used to be really heavy, they're really bulky, I just didn't like them. I know since I last used them, there's been many other brands that have come out. I mean, even Harbor Freight has one. Harbor Freight has one that has a light at the end of it that's gonna help you out when you're sanding, because light is the absolute must when you're doing sanding. But I don't know, maybe I will purchase one of those just to see how it works and how it feels, but right now I don't have the need for it. If it's a big job, then I don't need to worry about dust control, and if it's a small enough job where I am worried about dust control, then I'll just use this vacuum sander and it works fine. This one I actually got at Ames, and it was really hard to locate this one to get this one. But like I said, Harbor Freight has one. I want to say it's probably about 200 bucks, maybe more or less. Find a coupon, try it out. There's other brands out there. I haven't used them enough to say whether they're good or bad. I know some of them gouge the walls because of the plate that's inside, but I think it's all about adjusting that plate. But yeah, it's whatever you prefer, and it's whatever your environment allows for. So if you can get away with just doing something small, then just use a sponge. If you, and your budget, you want to just get something easy to use, you can use one of the two methods of either the paint poles or the sanding pole stick. And then if you have a bigger project, you can get into using one of the paint poles, a heavier duty paint pole. And then again, if you need to keep the dust control down, you can use this vacuum sander. Oh, last thing. So there's two types. I talked about different kinds of grid, which again is your numbers. I usually use 100 for when I'm doing my first couple of sands, and I'll use 150 to 220 for a final sand. Okay, but you have your netted kind, and you have it's not see-through, right? This one you can use on these kind of poles. But you need this on this vacuum sander. The reason is because obviously the meshing is going to allow the vacuum to suck it up, okay? So you cannot use this paperback one on this, because then the sand's not, it's just going to be like one of these. So on this one, you can use either sandpaper, right? Either sandpaper. This is 100 grit right here. On the back of this one it says this is 220. So this is 220, this is 100. I'd probably do my first 2 sandings with this one and finish up with this one because it's gonna leave a lot less, it's a lot less rough on the drywall. So that's it. If you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them below.